guys, so the warm-up for today, for those of you who want to go through the warm-up, we're going to go through the basic movements to get you moving. I really would recommend, don't just go straight into the workout. Get your body warm, make sure your knees are warm, make sure your hips are warm, that your back is warm, and that your stomach is nice and engaged, your overhead mobility has been worked. That's going to make your workout a whole lot better. All right. So the warm-up today, 480-meter run. Remember, you're running around the garden, or you're running around the block. Maybe you're going for a brisk walk. Coming back in, all your equipment is already set up and you're ready to go. You do 10 air squats. So same thing, feet shoulder apart. Remember to push your hips backwards, right? And you're pressing your hips back, knees pressed open, press out to the side. Remember, air squats, back straight, chest up. No round backs. Focus on keeping that midline and the chest up. So from 10 air squats, I'm going to go to 10 dynamic pigeon poses. So I'll show you the dynamic pigeon pose, but you probably know it better as a bit of a long lunge stretch. So remember, we're going to go down onto the floor. I'm going to step back. Knees are there. Hands on the outside, so a long lunge stretch. Back leg is nice and straight. We're pressing backwards and forwards. We're going for 10 times. Remember to focus on getting this hip to stretch in the front. Knee comes down to the side, and you're going to press that knee out the side. Do 10 of those. Mobilizing, open up the hip and into the groin. All right, then you can change. You're going to step, back leg nice and straight, 10 times backs and forwards, knee to the floor, shift your hand slightly to the outside of the foot, and press that hip backs and forwards. Remember, if the foot is too far forward, it's going to make it uncomfortable. If it's too far backwards, it's going to be into the knee. So just next to the hand is a good position to allow all of this to open up and knee out the side. So that's going to be your long lunge stretch. Your dynamic pigeon pose. If you go onto our WOD blog on our CrossFitplett.com homepage, you'll see that there's a little link that you can click on. You can see what the dynamic pigeon pose is if you want to go and have a look at what it is. All right. From that, we're going to go into 10 sumo squats. So the sumo squats, you know. Remember, it's nice and wide. Hips press back. Same mechanics as your normal squat, but much wider in the feet. Hips press back. And press the hips back. Feet nice and wide, sit back. If you can know Japanese, count in Japanese. Remember to do that. Okay, makes it fun. Okay, we've got 10 sumo squats there and back, and then 10 wall squats, right? So wall squat, have a quick look on the side here. Right, so remember what we're looking for in the wall squat. Feet are about foot width apart, standing hands up nice and wide, not letting the knees come towards the wall, letting the hips press back, so you're pressing back into a squat, press, hips press back, and stand. If you can get a little bit closer, try and get a little bit closer. Hips press back, hips press back, hips press back, hips press back, stand, a little bit closer. And every time that you do it, you're trying to get a little bit closer towards the wall. 8 wall squats. So remember what we're looking for. We're looking for that 10 air squats, 10 long lunges, 10 each side, 10 sumo squats, 10 wall walks. We're going to do 2 rounds of all of that together. All right, next part of the workout. Once you've done 1 to 2 rounds of that, make sure you're feeling warm and mobile. Then we're going to do 8 broomstick overhead rotations, right? So remember, what you're looking for with your broomstick or your mop, you're just trying to mobilize and open up those shoulders. Find that sticking point in the shoulders, hips press back, chest. If that's enough, hold it to there, come back, and 8 to 10 times. Make sure the shoulders feel nice and warm. If you can go all the way around, then come all the way around. But make sure you're not trying to do this when you come back. So make sure you keep the shoulders safe. Just to there is good for me for today. Then we're going to do 8 broomstick overhead rotations, 8 overhead squats. Hips press back. Going to hold that overhead position, pressing that overhead squat. Hips pressing back. We're going to do 8 strict sit-ups. The strict sit-ups, whatever sit-up progression you're going to use, whether it's going to be 8 sit-ups. We're going to go back into 8 overhead squats again. Back into the overhead position, and we're going to go to your carry. So if you're going to do a carry for the workout, you're going to hold your arms overhead, 100-meter carry there, all the way back. Remember to lock your arms out, keep those elbows locked out. As soon as you start bending those elbows, right, you're going to feel more work into the shoulders. So you keep that lock out, elbows locked out, and you're pressing and extending from the shoulder blades and the scapulars and the shoulder girdle. And then another 8 sit-ups. 1 round of that should get you ready and warm. And then you should be ready for the workout. A few scaling options. Right, so remember for the scaling options, what we've got here, instead of overhead squats, we can go into goblet squats, so you're holding something in the middle. Right? Or you can do it as a front squat or a back squat. Number 2, you can increase the weight where possible. So either increasing the weight on the overhead squats, or you're increasing the weight on the goblet squat, or you're increasing the weight in that object carry in that overhead position. That will increase the intensity. And then we're modifying the carry. So instead of doing a carry, you can scale it up by doing that walking lunge, those 20 walking lunges there and back, 10 there, 10 back. All right, guys, so that's pretty much the warm-up. Once you're done, hit the workout, those 5 rounds. Remember to post your times. All right, remember to post your scores, the time to complete. So what we're looking for is your scoring. Scoring, you want your name, you want your time to complete, the scale that you used. And then post your video or your photos to either the WhatsApp group that we've got, to Facebook or Instagram. Remember to use hashtag CrossFitPlett or hashtag raise the bar or hashtag together at home. And we'll see you guys soon.